Welcome, everyone, to Price Action Live at Traders Post for November 13th, 2025. I'm one of your traders, Peter Hartman, alongside Mike, the NQ Sniper Christensen, co-founder and CSO of Traders Post. Up to 4 days a week at Price Action Live, we trade in front of you using the advanced trade execution engine known as Traders Post, the epic software that upgrades your trading. Whether trading stocks, futures, options, or crypto, Traders Post has got you covered. Today's stream is brought to you by Blue Sky, the best-in-class prop firm that offers same-day activation, daily payouts, and no max restrictions. Visit bluesky.pro and sign up for your first prop firm account today and trade futures like never before. Good morning, Mike.
How we doing, Peter?
I'm doing well. How you just came back from a trip to New York? I want to know how you're doing.
Went to the Benzinga Fintech Awards conference, met some great contacts there, exciting new potential partnerships and some integrations we've been looking to explore for some time now. So it's exciting to be back. And even while I was there, what was nice was being able to trade the lines from my phone. So I used the TradingView mobile app and just kind of drug my entry lines around and took a trade each day while I was gone right at the open. And I had 3 more winning days in a row. Now it says I have a bunch of trades here, but really I only took 1 trade in each account. So I have 5 accounts here with Tradify. And I'm on my 10th winning day. It says 9, but I actually had another one on October 31st where I picked up about 3K, and it doesn't seem to include that even with the date range. In any event, profit factors looking good, win rates looking good. It was nice being able to kind of pick up a single trade at the start of the day and then go hit the conference, chat with some people. We did a meetup in the FIDI area. We had a dinner with some clients. And then made our way back. So even had a little bit of time to catch a comedy show, see the Mercer studio, see some art, see some exciting areas of downtown Manhattan, and then made our way back. So it was a busy 4 days. I'm excited to be back. Today is looking like a crazy reversal off of this retrace. So just to kind of pick up on the technical analysis side of things, as I'm making my way back to the desk, I've got all these indicators to update that I haven't been able to touch for a few days now. And it looks like we nailed the S2 range that I had plotted on my chart for a while. It looks like we wicked it there at 24,750 and are attempting to retrace again. But if I'm looking at the higher time frames, this is now painting a lower high to me. So anybody looking at this, I think I don't even need to measure it, but I'm pretty sure that this would be a 0618 retrace on a Fibonacci. So let me just do the measurement real quick here. Yep, just about right on that line. So this wick right here at R1 is an 0618 retrace. So this looks like a classical structure of a retrace and pullback, which means that it could be a continuation from here to the downside. So as I'm looking at this chart, it looks like we're going to open with a fairly large gap down, and maybe we surge a little bit, but we're going to need to test the weekly VWAPs as well as some moving averages and see if we're going to push down even further down to S1 today. So I would expect that we have a couple possibilities today. We rally up to R1, which is at 25,828, and retest the 618, or we keep pushing down and touch 25,226. Either way, I'm ready for it. We'll see what price does around VWAP from the open, and we'll start to build a position around that. But so far, I do not want to break my winning streak here. I'd like to see the 11th day on the charts, and we are that much closer to a payout. I'm about 55% of the way there now.
All right, so I have a question about that, and thanks for that breakdown. So when it comes to your rules, I don't know all the rules that you have and what you're developing. What's the rule for, I want to get to my 11th day? Is there a rule about caring about that streak? Is that a bad thing to care about? Does that kind of mess things up?
Yeah, that's a good question. I try not to get in my head about it, instead just show up and focus on the charts. But now that I've been making such good progress, it's kind of hard not to have it in the back of my mind. But that said, the rule's going to remain the same. In terms of my actual rules for trading the charts, we're going to start the session with scalping only. We don't trend yet until we see if there's an actual trend forming from VWAP. So we need to see a few bars start to move their way against VWAP. We're going to wait for the first 6 minutes. So we'll wait for 3 candles to close. I'm on the 2-minute chart. And I want to wait at least 5 minutes between trades. I just want to give myself time to reset, recalibrate, and keep myself from going from that upper brain trading to the lower brain trading. My habit in the past has always been, oh, there's another trade. Oh, there's another trade. And you got to slow down. You really got to slow down. There's only so many high probability setups in a day, and it's definitely not the next candle. So the main thing for me is three strikes and you're out. If I have 3 losses before I've captured a winner, then I'm done for the day. Got to put down the baseball bat, call myself out. If I pick up some winners and I start to have some losses, I just have to focus on my expectancy. And the expectancy is basically the combination of my win rate and my profit factor. So I'm looking at what is my average dollar profit per trade. Okay, the math is fairly simple, right? We're just looking to measure the total percentage of wins, and we subtract that against the total percentage of losses. But it's basically the ratio of the wins versus the losses. And once you do that simple math, you're getting the average amount you're gaining in each trade. So if I get to a point where my expectancy is negative, that means I'm losing for every trade that I take. So I don't want to get into that territory. So that's what I kind of pay attention to. I'll have Tradier open here in the background, and I'll have all my accounts posted up, and that'll help me ensure that. Sorry, let me log in here. Thought I had this logged in already. That'll make me keep track of the. Oh, that's interesting. It's a whole new login for Tradier Prop now. They don't call it simulation anymore.
And make sure your settings in Trader Supposes are how you want them turned on or whatever.
Yep. That was the first thing I did this morning. So I usually always disable my strategies before the open, but I've enabled Scalp here, which is the one strategy I want to allow myself to trade here. So that's the open here. We've got the first candle setting up. It looks pretty bearish right off the bat. This is also an extremely large ATR. So do you see how large this blue line is? This is almost 100 points of movement. So I really want to wait a little bit for candles to get a little bit smaller before I jump in, because this is one of those things where price can move so fast that you'll get wicked out immediately, even with a decently sized position.
I see.
So we'll wait those 3 minutes like we talked about, and right off the bat, the sellers really want to push further down. I'm probably not the only person who noticed that 618 retrace, so sellers are probably trying to step in here and push past the support.
So as you were talking about the what you were seeing in the charts at the beginning of the stream, it reminded me of what I've heard in the Trading Bot session interviews that you've done with these traders, talking about how when you're starting out, and that's what I'm doing, you're learning to recognize patterns. And that, from what I can gather, you kind of want those patterns to become second nature, so that you kind of recognize them as you're seeing them on the chart, as opposed to always having to reference it. So when you're looking at this chart, how strongly does the pattern come out to you? Or do you still have to really analyze what you're looking at to get a good sense of what the market is telling you?
You're right that there's an intuition. Even if I were to turn off all of the drawings and the indicators on the chart here, that I would still be able to see this pretty obvious pattern here. You can see there's a higher high, or the all-time high here. There's a big pullback down to this zone here, and we pulled back up and retested these recent candles here in the middle. And this is the type of retrace that you're looking for on the higher time frames to help spell the broader story. This is the 2-hour chart, which is where I always start. I want to start on the daily chart or the 2-hour chart to give me a sense of what's happening on the higher time frames, because what's happening on the higher time frames is going to inform what happens on the lower time frames.
Right.
You're going to find major support and resistance areas that are going to push the price in one direction or another, or be the area where you want to take profit or set your stop loss, because in all likelihood, a bunch of buyers and sellers are going to show up in those areas. So my objective is to really try to see what's the broader narrative on the 2-hour chart. Is it bearish? Is it bullish? Where are our major support and resistance zones? And let's keep an eye on those. So if I turn some of my indicators back on, these are just kind of helping me guide through that narrative. So I have the R1, S1, R2, S1 lines that are present on all of the charts. If I move down onto the 2-minute chart, you can see that R1 line is here and the S1 line here is here. And that tells me what the higher time frame narrative is. And I can now start to trade around that on the lower time frames. But the pattern is definitely fairly obvious. Just looking at the chart at a glance, I can tell you that this was most likely a 618 retrace, because I can kind of see where it should be visually. But measuring it is always a good choice.
Is it often obvious, or there are just some that are obvious and some that are not?
No, sometimes I need to use the tools to measure, just because there's so much noise on the chart that you need the indicator to kind of help cut through that noise.
Right.
That's what the moving averages help us with as well. As we look at the weekly VWAP or some of these exponential moving averages, they start to help us understand what's the pitch or slope of the current trend as well with our analysis.
I'm a person who asks a lot of questions. When I was in school, everybody knew Peter was always... I meet people who knew me when I was a kid who I don't even remember, and they walk up to me, they go, "Hey, Peter, are you still asking questions?" I'm like, "Was I?" So all that to say, Mike, if you focus on the chart, all right, you can stop in the middle of a sentence. You do what you got to do. I know you're doing that, but just want everybody to know Mike's not being impolite. I know traders got to trade.
Well, right now we are pulling back into this support zone, the first one from the open, and we've been in this band since before the open. The sellers are trying to push through it, so I'm a little hesitant to put a short trade on, because there could be buyers that step in at any moment here to claim this as support. But if it's strong enough and the signals remain strong enough, I'm going to have no choice but to go ahead and just put on a scalp short. So I'm getting ready to enter a position here in just a moment. It's still really volatile though. ATR is at 34 now. The last candle was 70 points. So I got to wait just a second here and see. I'm going to probably try to go for 60 points with a 40-point stop. Okay, so we just opened the fourth candle, which is now my entry point for when I normally get in. I'm expecting a quick bounce to retrace some of that candle, but it's not going to happen. Sellers want it. Aventura says you did a great job of holding down the fort while we were gone, so I appreciate that.
Oh, man, thank you, sir. Yeah, Aventura kept me company during my first solo stream on office hours. Really appreciate it. Mike is on fire this month. Yeah, Mike is on fire this month. This guy talks about, I'm just like, 9-10 days into a successful. That's got to make you be feeling good.
It's definitely been a little while since I've had this kind of streak, for sure. But it's like anything else. You just got to keep showing up and putting trades up. Even if I am able to get to a payout, it's not like the game is over and I've won it all. I still got to keep showing up.
That's right.
And trading well every day. So I'd like an 11-day streak to be, a 150-day streak. Ooh.
Tom was the type of guy, like, whenever he has success, I'll ask him, like, "So how are you feeling?" And he'll be like, He doesn't allow, like, joys to make him joyful. So sometimes I wonder, like, how many people out there who are like that. They're like, once things are starting, sometimes I feel like when things are going well, if I celebrate, then I'm jinxing myself. You ever feel that way?
A little bit, maybe not jinxing myself, but it's more like I know what's ahead. You've gotten past this milestone, but the work is still coming up. So, yes, we did it. All right, let's celebrate. Little milestone here, but we've got a lot more to go.
Totally.
And especially on my end, I'm still trying to just dig out of the hole of the cost of these prop firm accounts. I'll spell all that math out pretty soon here. I've been doing a ton of analysis on all the accounts and how much I've spent and everything. It's been a game. Aventura asked, does that mean Mike is into streaking? Yes, we're going streaking through the quad. Please. Come on, everybody's going.
Very cool. Well, I opened up a Webull account. I was trying to get into paper trading.
Okay.
Starting my journey. I've been trying to wait, but I just can't. I can't watch price action live and not get into the game. So learning how to do it, setting that up with traders posts. So, before long, I'll be on here with my little lines on the charts with my streaking through the quad.
I like it. All right. I went ahead and pulled that trade prematurely. And there's a reason. You'll see in a moment here, it looks like it's probably going to bounce and retest VWAP. So I want to wait again and get back in when it comes closer to VWAP.
I want to change this music because this gothic emo kind of vibe going on here.
Do I need to pull my hair down over my eye? Do we need to put the tone? The emo tone? I went to an emo concert recently that was like a recreation and sort of lip syncing karaoke of all the early 2000s emo bands. What? And I have an emo shirt that says "sad as fuck," and it's perfect. So I'll go grab that shirt and I'll put my hair in front of my eyes.
That's really funny.
So Tom's having a little bit of technical difficulties on his side. We think we might have left a camera piece in New York. So he's looking for that part.
Yeah, Tom, well, I'll ask him to let me know. I've got all kinds of gear here.
Holy cow, I was not right about that bounce. So the sellers are just going to keep pushing here. All right, I'm going to give it a few. I don't want to jump back in immediately. I've been in this position so many times where you start trying to chase the sell-off, and it turns against you at that exact moment. So I'm going to wait for a little bit of a pullback and then try to enter my short again. Anybody else in a short? Aventura, how are your algos going?
Well, Tom says, while we wait for Aventura, if he answers here, Tom says, I'm in a short from pre-market soon as I saw that head and shoulders.
Yep, that makes sense. So Tom's referring to this head and shoulders showing up here. I'll pull up the 15-minute chart to show you this pattern. Oh, interesting. I can see it visually, but TradingView failed us here. Let's see if their little head and shoulders pattern will actually pick this up. No, it doesn't. Their little technical analysis tool is kind of hit and miss sometimes. Aiming for 25.05. Okay, yeah, I like that spot here, Tom. That would be my like sort of a short-term S2. I didn't even consider this one because it just wasn't strong enough. My little indicator here on the chart, I just don't think it's right. I think the bigger support line is actually going to be down here at 24,742. Man, what a sell-off from the open here. So far we've already sold off about 120 points from the open. That was from a gap down, which normally should fill. As you've probably recalled, Peter, from previous episodes, we have lots of moments here where price will gap up or down, but it will eventually fill. In the last gap down that we had, we filled part of it at the end of this session on November 7th, and then we filled the rest of it in a gap up. And then since then, that gap wasn't completely filled. So we just now are starting to fill that gap, but now we have a gap left open from here. So this is starting to get pretty volatile, which is nice. Right now, the VIX is at 18.5, which is a measure of the overall S&P 500 volatility. And this is the spot where price action really starts to get exciting.
I like to hear that. This is a spot where price action starts to get exciting.
Aventura says he's flat at the moment. Strategy took 2 trades this morning already. Won one, lost one. Up 139 at the moment. Nice. As long as we're up, man. Took base hits.
Nice
Get
job,
yourself on
Aventura.
first. I've decided I'm only going to use baseball analogies for trading from here on out. But also, like, that was the time, as Shane Gillis said, that was the time when white people were cool. When the actually had a little voice that came to us too. Man, up on the stand here is Mike Christensen. Oh my God. Wow, I really missed out on this trade. It's not going to pull back.
There's always another trade, Mike. I'm here to tell you there's always another trade. At least that's what I keep trying to tell myself when I'm like, these are the things I have to tell myself when I'm trading, that there's always something ahead, because it's so easy to get zoned in on what just happened and what I'm missing out on. And I really want to see if I can untie those knots before they get too cemented in me, because I can feel it. Even if I'm watching other people, it's like you're watching a sporting event. You're like, I'm not catching the football, but I can feel the energy of like, get it.
Yeah.
So even in my practice, in my mind, I want to be like, it's okay, namaste.
And this is a tough one. I don't like trading candles like this. If I can't get to a spot where there's a clear re-entry, I'm just gonna have to sit here and watch the candles go by.
Right.
So I did see this recently in Slack that Aventura would be interested in joining us for either Price Action Live or Trading Bot Sessions, and I'm completely down. Aventura, let us know what you're down for. Can we do an interview of your background, and can you join us for Price Action Live? That'd be great.
That'd be awesome. You saw a comedy show in New York?
I did, yeah. So there was a free one going on at the comedy shop over in the I'll call it the Comedy District, because there's like 7 clubs over there. And it's over off of Greenwich in the FiDi area. And it was all locals, and it was an interesting mix of folks for sure. Mix of guys, mix of girls, and a couple people were definitely interesting, to say the least. They were, pretty much everybody was trying new material. And Tom, I think correctly, since you guys have both done stand-up yourselves and, open mic, that kind of stuff, we get it. A lot of people are testing new material in little open mics like this. And so they're recording themselves, and they've got their phone next to them, and they're trying new bits. One guy was trying a lot of material, and unfortunately was just bombing on every joke. And we were just like, we don't know what to make of you, buddy.
I love watching comedians bomb on stage. Like Tom and I, we've been in many rooms where you're listening to a comedian on stage. The room is silent except for Tom and Peter just losing it because we're having such a good time. Look, it takes courage to go up there and to try new jokes. Like, even comedians, like we would meet comedians and we're like, how long have you been doing these jokes? Oh, 2 years, 3 years. And you're like, well, you're doing the same set, the same jokes. It's because you get so safe with the jokes that work that trying out something new. So
that's a good point.
We have such an appreciation for people who even just give it a try. I've actually encouraged, I think 3 or 4 people to actually do stand-up comedy for the first time.
Yeah.
And I went with them, we coached them, we got them up on stage, and they loved it. And they actually did very well. But yeah, trying out new material is terrifying. So you're watching it. Did you feel like, oh, this is like, I don't like this is a waste of time? Was it like that bad?
No. I'm certainly a supportive crowd member. I thought everybody was funny in their own right. Even the guy that was kind of bombing a little bit, he still had a couple funny bits. And then some of it were just like, we don't know where you're going with this, man, but it sounds really misogynistic. I don't know what to
say. That's funny.
Yep. So Aventura says, would love to sit in if you guys are around at all over the holidays. Yeah, I think we should be. I think we're looking at maybe a little bit of a mixed schedule around Thanksgiving week. We might we're going to take a look at what the holiday schedule looks like for trading. So yeah, I'd love to have you on at least for Price Action Live. That'd be fantastic. I'll have
You
to
guys
give
did
the Eddie Murphy documentary a try for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a huge fan of comedians. I'm a huge fan of the process. I've
really.
always wanted to try open mic myself. I don't think I'm a particularly funny person, but I do think that I could come up with some material and deliver it pretty well. So I would be willing to give it a try. Tom's been trying to encourage me for some time now to give it a go. I like the danger of it, the danger
Yeah.
of bombing in front of people, the nervousness, because I don't get nervous about a lot of things very often.
Yeah, you'll probably feel it for this. Being nervous for it is a good sign, actually. I would talk to the people who are going up on stage for the first time at open mic, and everyone who wasn't nervous guaranteed bombing. We
Mhm.
had one guy come in. He was the most confident first timer I had ever met. And he comes in, I'm like, hey, are you nervous? He goes, no. Everybody says I'm funny. You know, I tell jokes. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it. And I was like, uh-oh. The guy goes up and for 5 minutes does 5 minutes on George W. Bush and like weapons of mass destruction, or I don't know what he was joking. No, he was talking about it. It
In
was
his mind, it
even,
was excellent material, though.
he was loving it. The room was silent. I never heard it so silent. And this guy did 5 minutes on George W. Bush and like inside politics.
Yeah.
By the way, we're in Canada. Okay, so
Mhm.
nobody here is remembering anything from the George W. Bush administration. Certainly
Right.
not the different people in there. And I might have wet myself laughing so hard at that guy. So you gotta have some type of nervousness and let you know that you're paying attention, that you're thinking things through, and that there's some energy behind what you're saying.
It's just like anything else. You can't get overconfident, right? Like, just like in trading, your overconfidence is a killer. And you can't walk in assuming you're just going to crush. You really have to just kind of feel the audience, because
That's right.
if it seems like sometimes the success of your night, especially in small clubs like we were in, there was only 12 people in the room. I mean, it was a
Wow,
tiny space.
that's tough.
So it's extremely easy to bomb in a space like that. If I
Mhm.
mean, how hard could it possibly be to get 12 people to not like your material? You know?
Yeah, especially if you're going with edgy, misogynistic.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal.
So I
That's
mentioned
funny.
Tom's been encouraging me to try this. He says here in the comments, encourage, it's mandatory, stand up, Mikey.
You should definitely do it. You like the adrenaline, though. You're like an adrenaline guy.
Yeah, that's what I think that's what I like about it. The danger of it sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, it's fun. And the pride, like, I don't know how you'll feel about it, but if you like comedy, you'll probably feel this feeling. When you get a laughter from a crowd, even a small crowd, from a joke that you say, for me, there's hardly a feeling that feels as good as that. Having a room of people laugh because it's something you thought of and that you delivered well, it just feels so satisfying. You walk off the stage like you're floating. So it's a really good feeling.
I like it. I like it.
It probably feels like skydivers when they like finally land and hit the ground and they're like, "Oh man, that was great."
Uh,
Maybe it's that's
I would think it's more like the flight up, the adrenaline of actually just slowly making your way up to 15,000 feet or so.
uh-huh.
That's the most adrenaline pumping part, because you're
Oh,
sitting there anticipating the drop the entire time. You haven't even gotten to the door yet.
that's right.
And yeah.
I
Tom
totally get
says,
it.
I'm back in the trade. Probably a bad idea. This is where I thought the pullback would happen here, and it's pushing right up against this EMA, right up against VWAP. I'm probably taking an L today.
We don't know that yet.
We don't know yet. I've got my buy stop above VWAP. I might even double down on this if the next candle looks pretty bearish.
But weren't you expecting it to go up?
I was.
Oh, then you changed your mind because that it was going down. I see.
Well, I probably should have waited a little bit longer. I got in a little too early. I expected about half of this candle to get eaten on the 15-minute chart, and I got in a little too soon. You can see how far down my entry is here. And almost half of this candle has now been eaten right at VWAP. I got a little antsy and a little distracted. Now this next candle right here, that's the determining candle. if the bulls want it bad enough, then they're going to close above VWAP, and I'll get stopped out and unfortunately take an L today. But if the bears want it, this is the spot.
This is where the rubber meets the road. This is it. I distracted Mike. That's a no on me. I distracted Mike talking about comedy. How dare I?
Unfortunately, looks like I'm going to get stopped.
All you have to do is move your stop up. That's all you got to
do. That's a rule violation right there. For sure. You never move your stop. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I literally wicked off of my stop there. 50 cents off. Moments like these are always hilarious if I can actually manage to stay in a position and it turns back in my direction, and it's 50 cents off from hitting my stop.
That'd be crazy.
Aventura says he's back into a long. Well, he took the other side, my friend.
I've got construction going on here, so apologies if you're hearing that sound.
That's what I thought I heard. I'm like, was that brakes of a truck?
That's my anticipation of this candle here.
That's what it sounds like. There's an open above VWAP there. I'm most likely getting taken out. It's choppy and it's volatile right now. ATR is about 35. Size of that candle starts to indicate that this could be a reversal. Man, if that's the pivot point, then I'm getting lucky as hell here on this trade.
That would be so crazy.
I'm just going to wait it out.
I mean, this is already exciting for me. Right where we are right now is already exciting. We're on the plane right up.
So I'm going to get ready here to add to this short here if we can actually pull below VWAP. Look at that. Wicked by 25 cents, about 50 cents actually. Where is this? This is 388.25 and I got my stop at 389, 75 cents off.
What is about to happen here?
Well, it looks like I'm actually going to get this short. You never know. We got about 4 minutes 40 left in this 15-minute candle. It was already kind of oversold, so I'm taking a pretty strong position here that it's going to continue. And sure enough, there are the buyers again. There's no way. There's no way, Peter.
All right, I don't know who you believe in, Zeus, Krishna. You gotta start praying. I know they say prayer doesn't work. Prayer doesn't work, but doesn't stop us from trying.
It's true. I mean, that's the thing I've realized, though. All the prayer in the world isn't going to move the price in the direction you want.
It's like you're bowling, you're doing like. All right. Oh, there it goes.
So we knew there's about an 80% chance that I was going to get stopped out there. I was going to get real lucky if that was going to turn around. All right, so that's my one loss for the day.
Okay.
Now this is what I was talking about with expectancy. So I had one tiny trade today, one tiny good trade, one loss, and the loss is much larger than the winner. Now at this point, I would normally say, let's go ahead and get out, because the mix of my winner and my loser, the size of my loser is a lot bigger than my winner. So my expectancy is $57.50. If I keep trading from here, I'm most likely going to be on tilt. The only reason I would want to get back in is if my confidence level is really high, thesis looks good, it's a high probability setup. Otherwise, I'm just destined for continued failure today. And that's been the one thing that's been killing me a lot lately, is just chasing trades, trying to get right back in immediately.
Right.
So what I want to probably do from here is listen to my indicators. This indicator here tells me how many bars are above or below VWAP. And right now we're in an indecision area where the candle hasn't actually posted above VWAP yet. nor has it posted below VWAP. So I'm going to wait for that indicator to trigger, follow my rules about waiting for the next trade, and try to stay in that upper brain trading zone instead of chasing the dopamine like a lizard.
So this is the hard part, right? This is the hard part, or one of the hard parts of trading, like stopping yourself from going on tilt, chasing. So this would be like, if you went back in now, that would be revenge trading?
That would be chasing, yeah, or revenge trading. Yeah, the revenge trading would be, now I'm angry because I just lost $200 on that trade, or 124 on the smaller accounts.
Right,
Put it
right.
on the bigger one.
Interesting.
Yeah, 248 on some of these bigger accounts. So now I need to make this back, right? So you immediately go, well, now it's looking bullish. I better just take the other side. You really don't want to do that, because in all likelihood, I may have still been right. This could still be the retrace from the sell side, and then it pushes against me and it goes exactly the direction I wanted. So the thing you want to do is give the candles some time to breathe, give yourself an opportunity to reassess and see what the charts are really trying to tell you. Aventura was likely correct on that long, but I want to wait a couple candles before I get long again, especially after having positioned myself short. The automated strat just closed out for 141 bucks. Nice. You're up over 300 today then, Aventura.
Well done. I had this really big problem when I was younger, of like arguing with people and getting to disagreements until the point where I felt terrible and the relationship soured. And I had to teach myself that I had this real big problem of admitting when I was wrong. Admitting when I was wrong. I just
There's no
not
way
do
that
it.
ever happened, Peter. There's no way that ever happened. No, I had the same issue. I was pretty argumentative as a kid.
And I remember I had to tell, I would sit down and reflect, you know, in my trade journal, my human trade journal, trading with people. And I had to tell myself, like, you don't have to do that. You can let it go. You can just admit that you were wrong. And in that admitting I was wrong, I was then like, I was right again. Like, there was a win in admitting that I was wrong.
For sure.
I feel the same way when I'm looking at this. It's like, okay, we have our P&L, money speaks here. That's what matters. But even if I take a loss, if I've learned from that loss, if I use it as an opportunity to shore up my rule following, then in some ways it's also kind of a win if you don't go on tilt, right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, in general, I'm fully ready to accept a loss on my trades as long as I followed all my rules, and my rules line up with a thesis of some kind. So 36. Let's do 30 and 30.
Aventura says 276 on the day so far. Nice. That's gotta feel good. When you're ready, I am interested in knowing how the meetup went. I was really jealous of you guys. I wish I could have been at that meetup, Trader Post meetup.
Yeah. Give me just a sec here. This one immediately turned against me as well. I'm dying here, Peter.
Look, it is what it is, right? You're a surfer on the ocean, and sometimes you go up and sometimes you go down, but we all learn.
It's just the volatility. The candle sizes are really large here. And now it's pulling back. All right, this is the danger zone here. So now I'm at a point where I have negative $82 of expectancy. That's 3 losses. And I'm not seeing where we go from here. I was hoping for a full close above VWAP here, but it's not continuing.
So what's the rule here? So you mentioned before looking for where you find confidence. Is that part of the rule?
I think now it's looking like it's spelling the picture that it's going to continue to the downside. So let me wait for a candle to fully close below VWAP, and then I'll probably get short again and try to sweep up some of the loss here today. What I'd like to do is take one more great trade and sweep up as much of this loss as possible. It's very likely that what's going to happen here is I'm able to get back to break even for the day. And if I can get to break even, then that's perfect for me. I'm good with that.
That makes sense. Okay, so the goal here is if we can get back to break even, that's good. And that falls within the your rules.
Pretty close. Yeah, I mean, normally we would say it's the third loss that needs to get me out. That was 2, so this would be the last opportunity.
Gotcha. Look, every week I appreciate you folks doing this live in front of people. I don't know what it's like. Like sometimes I would meet people who would talk to comedians and they would think, oh, it's just easy to go up there and do comedy. You must be funny. It's like, no, even if you're funny, it's still like difficult to do that in front of other people. So kudos to you for doing this in public. I think it really helped. It's helping me right now, like to really be in it and to look at it, be able to ask you questions about it. It makes me understand trading more and more. And I think I'm assuming it provides a lot of value to the people who are watching. So good job.
I think so. For those who are watching, I think there's a lot of questions around just trading in general, but also what indicators are in use, what techniques are in use, and then of course how we're doing account scaling and how we're sending these signals from TradingView off to Traders Post to trade multiple accounts at the same time.
Right. Tom says it has to break 25,350 to actually have a down move.
Agreed. I'm waiting for a full candle close here below VWAP. We're back to that indecision phase. You can see here once again, this is starting to show signs of chop on my indicator because we went from a red zone where price was below VWAP. Then we reversed and tried to close above VWAP, and now we're about ready to push below again.
Tom says, I got to get you set up with my indicators.
Yeah.
Have you tried this?
To get the mitigated or unmitigated VWAP indicators on my chart for a while. We'll have to chat.
I was going to ask you about that earlier in the stream. How married are you to the indicators that you use, or do you switch them out routinely? How does that
VWAP
work?
is my guiding source of truth, session VWAP. From there, electronic VWAP, weekly VWAP. So the VWAPs obviously are going to be the main source of truth. From there, though, I'm just going to go ahead and take this. This is the last opportunity. Come on. Come on. There's congestion on TradingView. There it goes. Thanks. Oh, like $3 lower than I was expecting. All right. So we're going to keep an eye on that trade. But to answer your question, VWAP is definitely the main source of truth. It's one of the most well-established indicators out there, followed by the price action itself. What is price really doing? The size of the candles matters, the volatility of the market matters, support and resistance levels. And then from there, the rest of these things are really just indicators helping me understand where I think price might arrive. Where are we going to meet resistance, or where are we going to find support? And we just follow the trend from there. What we're really trying to do is profit from a choppy environment or profit from a trend. What I'm expecting to happen right now is a trend is going to form to the downside, but this could be a chop day where I just get chopped out and I take one more loss here for the day, and it's not a trend day. Instead, it ends up being a choppy session that just bounces around VWAP and causes me one loss after the next. So that's partly the reason I have the 3-strike rule, is to keep me from just chasing trades on either side of VWAP over and over again.
Right. And every time I hear that word chop, I feel like I'm in a zombie movie. Like you just hear the groans outside, run,
Yep.
Get out of there.
I actually have a chop indicator right here. This is just measuring how far candles are moving against each other. And you can see we've already moved into that chop zone right now, which is why the indicator turned red. And here, sure enough, if we can't get the price to move away from VWAP in a single direction, then you start to see signs of chop. And this is already killing me.
So what difference would it make if you, let's say, instead of putting on that trade, you wait 2 hours and then put on your trade later? Like, does it matter?
Some people do that. They have a hard rule about not trading the first 30 minutes of the session or first 15. In this case, we had one decent trade, and unfortunately this is now one bad trade. So looks like I'm going to get stopped out again, and I'm done for the day. What a bummer. It's down 590 today on the big accounts.
Look, you played the game. You went in. We learned some stuff. Got some more practice. I had more to say, but no, the sound's back.
Yeah, oh, that's interesting. Why is this still active? Gosh, okay. I have no idea why this alert is still active. It should not be active. It's making me nervous, actually. Let me turn this off. So one recommendation is to make sure that you're not getting rogue signals sent to you. Just disable your strategy on Traders Post. That'll make it to where even if TradingView does some weird stuff here, nothing happens.
I didn't know weird stuff could happen like that.
Yeah,
They could send rogue signals?
Yeah, rogue signals can happen sometimes.
Whoa. That's like one of the reasons I didn't want to get a Tesla. I heard about this phantom braking problem where people would be driving on the highway and the car would just like stop. I was like, I can't handle, if there's even a 1% chance of that, I have to treat it as an absolute certainty.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Toast. Okay. So what I have to do every once in a while is go back and recreate the alerts, because this kind of thing will happen where the alert just gets weird. It starts doing funky stuff and it's not acting the way it's supposed to. So in this case, it's just price is greater. Now that I'm recreating this, let me just show you guys how I'm doing this. I've made this a button that I can just hit in my alert panel, so that the moment I hit the play button, it triggers the alert on my side. I have a message here to sell. So this is a trend button short entry, and that's just going to send off a signal to my trend following strategy to enter a short, and it just sends the MNQZ 2025 action is sell, sends the signal price, and sends the time. And all I have to do is hit that play button, because the condition for the alert is price is greater than 0. Well, price is always greater than 0. So the moment I hit play, it's going to immediately trigger the alert. And that's the way this one's been designed. So let me go ahead and create this. I have my trend following strategy disabled here. So even if the signal comes through, nothing's going to happen. It's definitely going to trigger right away, send an alert, and then it's going to hang out down here at the bottom. So now I've recreated that alert since it was being weird earlier. And if I look at my screen here, you can see I have this 0 of 0 trades were completed because the strategy was disabled.
So recreating the alert is kind of like you're refreshing it?
Yeah, just recreating it on TradingView servers so that it's eliminating whatever that bug was that was causing the alert to appear like it was still active.
Wow, I did not know that happened. Interesting.
All right, so this looks like the reversal here that the buyers wanted. I thought we were going to see a continuation here, but it looks like what we'll probably do is push back up to 513 or so, and then maybe reverse from there. But it could go as high. It could go as high as filling some of this gap at 575.
Ventura Trader saying strategy took another long. Okay, so you have an automated strategy, Ventura.
Yep.
Oh, I like that. That's what I'm working on. I actually built my first bots, connecting it to Traders Post. Oh my God, I love building things and connecting it to Traders Post. Just plug it into that webhook, set up your subscription strategies, and it's just like, it just trades for you. I don't know. I know I'm the new kid to the blog going, oh my God, you can auto trade. But to me, it feels amazing. It's so cool.
I agree.
You know what? Hey, you know what? You know what I'm going to give my family and friends for Christmas? An auto bot, an auto trading bot. Yeah, I designed this one for your style of trading.
I've been paying attention to how poorly you've been trading all year. I have a better strategy for you. Merry Christmas.
I'm actually building a bot. I have to figure out how to do this, but I'm trying to build a bot, and it's being inspired by all the rules and tips provided in trading bot sessions. So I basically want a bot that kind of embodies the lessons there, and every time there's a new interview, I'll just add guidance to the bot. It's an AI trading bot, and it uses the logic of whatever I took from the trading bot sessions. So we'll see how that works.
I like it. Yeah, the Claude workflow in general that you and Tom have put together is just amazing to me. I think the one thing I would probably do is try to focus on the take profit and stop loss side of that and keeping that as consistent as possible, because consistency is key when it comes to prop from trading in general. Aventura, you are crushing today. How's that long looking?
So what do I have to do to keep the take profit and stop loss consistent? Like,
just make sure that each entry designed in PineScript has a set take profit and stop loss to it. I tend to adjust my take profit and stop loss relative to ATR because I don't want to get chopped out too quickly, but I still want to take profits pretty early. So what I'll sometimes do is I'll take a look at the ATR indicator, and I can see right now ATR is 39. So that means that the average true range of a candle right now is about 39 points. So what I'll do is I'll set my stop loss at 40 points, roughly a little bit more than what ATR is, but set my take profit at 20 points or half of that. And I'll try to get to profit as fast as possible. But there's a lot of different ways to structure your trades. You just have to focus on the combination of your win rate and your profit. So if you're winning at least 50% of the time, but your risk to reward ratio is negative, unfortunately, you're gonna lose money over the long run. So if you keep your risk to reward ratio closer to 50-50, where it's 1-to-1, take profit of 20 points, a stop loss of 20 points, then all you need is a win rate slightly larger than 50% to make money.
You make it sound so easy, Mike. So easy.
It is so easy. Everybody can make money doing this. Clearly.
I know we got to wrap it up here soon. I am curious, how did you like the meetup? You met some Traders Post fans?
You asked about that earlier. Yeah, it was nice. We had about a dozen Traders Post customers show up. We covered some topics on AI and trading. We had Dan from Tradier show up as well, who sponsored the event. And Dan told us a big background about Tradier. What was pretty fascinating to learn there is just how big Tradier is in terms of options trading. They now represent 3% of the entire market for options trading, which is massive.
Wow.
And they have about 150,000 traders on the platform, and they're one of our best brokers that we've integrated with for stocks and options. We're going to be looking at ways to integrate with Dan on the futures side in the coming future. We just need to see if they can expand their API to cover a REST API. That said, it was nice having Dan speak and give us a bit of his background and where he came from. He actually started as a trader himself, but of course, running a brokerage prohibits you from trading. So he hasn't traded in a very long time.
Oh.
That said, he would love to trade if he could.
Aventura Trader says, I'm convinced I can build some profitable bots that I can leave on 24/7. That's the dream. Aventura Trader, we got to talk. Traders Post is the key to making this happen. I mean, salute that. Absolutely. It's fantastic. And I'm just, I'm in love with it.
Yeah, if we're ever in Miami, we'll definitely hit you up. I think the plan right now is to potentially hit up the Austin Silver's convention next year, but I believe that is in Tampa, so a little far away from Miami, unfortunately. But there may be some plans to head to Florida.
Aventura Trader, you live in Miami. That explains your Twitter feed.
And your icon there with the palm tree.
I hear the people in Miami are like the crazy folk in America. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like it's a little true. If I look at Aventura Trader, I think it's a little. You're spicy down there. You're real spicy. I always wanted to go to Miami. All right, let me see. Make sure there's nothing else I have to or want to ask you before we wrap up here.
Sure. I think that's probably it for me. I should call it here while I'm still clear of mind and not ready to gamble. I've definitely taken enough losers today, and I'm ready to allow myself one loss here for my 9 or 10-day streak, and then we'll show up tomorrow and see how Friday goes. At the end of the day, the price action really shows up within the first hour of the session anyway. We're already 50 minutes in. I think I'm ready to call it here.
Mike, it's like a mole on a supermodel, A slight imperfection makes
A
the whole
little
thing more
imperfection, yeah.
beautiful. You know, it's like
Oh, I
nice.
appreciate that. My chart's looking I'm looking real beautiful over here then, huh?
a nice small mole there.
Yeah.
Tom asks how people we met in New York trade prop. What does that mean? We met in New York trade prop. Well, maybe that's the meetup he was talking about. Tom, I didn't understand your message. Learn to write. Do better. He's not. Oh, he's not here. I can make fun of him. Tom, do better. Okay. You're supposed
No,
to be
we
smarter than this.
definitely, it was definitely exciting to learn how people found us as well. We'd asked that question towards the end, and it kind of lined up with our internal stats. Most people had heard about us from Google or Discord or YouTube, which is where we get most of our traffic. But a lot of people had heard about us through ChatGPT, just asking questions about automated trading, and ChatGPT recommended Traders Post. We've been working on an SEO/LLM strategy for a little over a year and a half now, and that's starting to pay off. People find us through ChatGPT, which is fantastic. We're in that conversational AI,
Really cool.
and it's now our number 3 source of traffic.
Last one here, just for fun. Adventure Trader asked earlier, any pictures of Tom outside? I don't think it's possible. I think it's like a vampire where the camera won't capture him outside.
It's a missed opportunity. I got to be honest. I don't think we took any pictures in the short amount of time we were running from place to place. We did the meetup as fast as possible because it butted up against a dinner we were planning on having. We had, or not dinner, but drinks and sort of a cocktail get together with some clients and partners through one of our advisors. And the meetup went into that time. So we were fashionably late to the cocktail get together and just didn't have time to even think about pictures. But yeah, totally missed opportunity. Tom was definitely outside for moments. But I think for the most part, even there, he was inside cars and we were traveling. So we didn't spend a lot of time outdoors.
Folks, I want to thank you so much for watching Price Action Live. It takes place Tuesday to Friday every week, Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. You get to watch Mike Christensen and Tom Hartman trade live using Traders Post. If you haven't dived into this, if you haven't checked it out, it's the advanced trade execution engine of your dreams. I dare you to try it. I dare you to try it. Are you yellow? Are you chicken? That's my Marty McFly reference there. Really appreciate you guys being here. We've got coming up.
Get a haircut, you slacker.
Later today, we'll be back. Tom will be back with a blueprint. We'll be coding live or talking about indicators. We're going to be here on Friday for After Hours, and that's at 4 p.m. That's an aftermarket commentary show. And then we're back on Tuesday. So if you have any questions for Mike or the team, you can ask that in the chat. I think the chat bubble in Traders Post, but you can also come live and watch the show. So really appreciate your time. Hope you had a fun day trading out there. Adventure Trader, everybody in the chat, really appreciate you. And as always, happy trading.
Cheers, everybody. Good luck out there.